Paul, good morning.
Very good morning, James.
Thank you very much indeed for coming in. So we've got a job to do.
We have.
And, I mean, luckily...
Where are we starting?
Luckily, we've got a lot of other stories to talk about because, frankly, it's a bit of a lawyer's half job. I mean, it's like, come in, do a newspaper.
You know, James, I come on your show, I pick stories, and then you just go with whatever you picked. So I just picked 3 that I found, but normally we just go with your agenda.
We'll do your
Good, we'll
stuff.
do those.
Don't you worry. But we must start with the front pages. Let's start with The Sun. No cigarettes and alcohol. Ban on smoking in pub gardens, they say. It's a crazy situation. This is according to leaked government plans. They've revealed that lighting up could be outlawed outside football stadiums, nightclubs, on restaurant terraces and even in small parks. I mean, the last government talked about this idea of this rolling ban, that if you were 14 today, you would never be able to legally buy a cigarette. Goodness only knows how they police that, on the basis that you just get a few friends who are a bit older than you and off you go and send them. And maybe in 40 years' time, you might have stamped out smoking. And I understand the push to stop people smoking, but is this the right way to do it? What do you make of this plan?
So if you're born after 2009, that's what they were going to do.
Yes.
Ban you from smoking. And MPs overwhelmingly voted in support of it. I think it was 360 in support, 60-odd against. So I think it's the right way to go. One of your callers came on just now and said what countries have banned it. I mean, there are countries that have banned smoking, but just even if...
There's no country that has outright banned smoking.
No, but they have very strict...
Yeah, but the closest is in Bhutan.
We're not outright banning it either. What we're talking about is gardens, terraces, and actually a lot of private businesses already say you can't smoke on their terrace, you can't smoke outside their premises, because there is a big move towards...
Yes.
Education and people knowing that smoking is not good for you, and actually it's really bad. But we all know that smoking is
not good for you.
Also through passive smoking, and I think it's right that it's banned.
What, in a pub garden?
I think, well, if there's children around, yes.
Well, what the heck are you doing taking children to the pub?
There are, James, come on. There are kids in pub gardens up and down this country,
yes.
And there'll be people listening to this show now saying
nobody
kids
has rung up in favour of this ban.
That doesn't mean it's the wrong thing to do.
It's the wrong thing to do.
No, it doesn't.
It's nanny and a steak getting in a way.
No, I think if you...
It's just an opportunity. And how are they going to police it?
Well, you'll police it from the point of sale. So already there are strict licensing involved with off licences and supermarkets. I should imagine supermarkets will probably pull them from the shelves altogether, large ones like Tesco's. So you might have a local convenience store, but they're heavily policed anyway. Police often do spot checks on them to make sure they're not doing things like selling ones. That still can be a problem in this country. Or selling alcohol, dare I say, by a tumbler. That still happens. We still get cases where we get criminal defence work, where we're defending people that have been accused.
So you're in favour of this ban on smoking in pub gardens?
An outright ban, yes, and particularly to protect the most youngest in society.
I'm just going to call you Nanny now.
No, I don't think so.
No, Nanny Britton.
If you had a child growing up and had respiratory issues because they've been in a pub garden or they've inhaled smoke, what would you say then?
Tough.
No, you wouldn't say that, James, about children. That's really heartless. I think you're just opposition for the sake of opposition.
It's like all these bore-off people who go on about, you know, it's about making choices. And to my mind, there are a lot of things which are dangerous in this world, and you could ban everything if you want to. So, for example, is it more dangerous for children to see or to be in a pub garden if somebody's having a tab, or to be fed the wrong foods by their parents? Would you prosecute their parents?
So that is a separate issue. You know, ultra-high processed foods, feeding our children these foods that are just not good for them. And I
was fed all sorts of foods that were probably terrible for me. I haven't died yet.
But I don't think the problem is actually... If when they look at it,
so what are you going to do about that? You're going to ban them?
The problem is actually when we procreate and have offspring and they have problems because our diets were so poor and we're passing on defective genes to a younger generation.
We're living longer than ever before.
We also need to look at the food that we're eating as well.
We're living longer than ever before. Why is that?
Probably because of our comfortable lifestyles. You know, we have gas central heating, double glazing, comfortable beds.
So are you telling us that basically...
We have good labour law in this country.
So Nanny Britton says that we shouldn't have anything fun in the state. So, OK...
Cigarettes aren't fun, James. Cigarettes are disgusting.
Yeah, they are. I agree.
It's a filthy habit. You stink, you kill your lungs, you
Fine,
cause
but allow people to make that choice for themselves.
No, I think it comes from education, right? So,
Yes, it does.
So what we should probably...
absolutely should educate in schools, you should educate
That's right.
in society,
Yeah.
and then people should be able to take their own choices.
There is a multi-pronged attack to this. One is obviously banning anyone born after the year 2009. I think that's great.
Okay, so...
But I also believe that we should go to schools and introduce into the syllabus...
Cocaine's banned, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
How's that ban going?
It's what do you mean? How is it going statistically?
Well, we know it's not going well. We know that there are people up and down this nation. Do I advocate it? Of course I don't. I've never had the stuff. I'm not interested. No. I think people who take it generally turn into the most foul and awful people.
No, but
okay,
so cocaine,
all of that, I'm in favour of its ban. Okay. Yeah. That having been said, we know it's a problem. We know that there are people up and down this nation who are taking these things. We know that there are illicit drugs. We know that there are... As soon as you ban something, you either send it underground or you create further or new problems. And I take the view that with smoking, I agree with you, education, absolutely spot on, let's do it. Let's make sure that people understand the full horrors of it and hopefully never take it up. But then, you know, we've created an alternative problem. Vaping, oh, let's do that.
No, I mean, again, that should be subject to the ban as well. It's just an alternative.
No, yeah.
And it's not good for you, and people are already dying of it, and it's causing problems.
But then drinking isn't good for you.
Yeah.
Are you going to ban that?
Yeah.
Eating chocolate.
I bet you didn't like that. I don't know if you expected that.
But you just made the whole argument.
I would phase that out as well.
Drinking?
Or reduce it, yeah. I mean, the thing
what kind of, like, weird idiot are you?
Well, because it's incredibly unhealthy, and we should be educating people.
Care. I know it's unhealthy. If you stop me having a drink if I want to have one,
and some people need this help.
They don't.
They do.
Of course, some people who drink to excess need help.
Listen, speak to alcoholics that go to AA, you know, and that they go teetotal. No, but James, that's where these things end up.
So you would ban something because a few people have problems.
It's not a few people, James.
I know it's a lot of people,
and actually there is also a huge number of people that also don't realise they've got the problem, right? And they have a drink every day. And it's a spiral, downward spiral. And as a society, are we saying...
I'm just going to call you Nanny Britton, because basically anything that is either fun or interesting or needs a little bit of self-restraint...
Why are those things fun?
Alcohol?
You know, exercising is fun. Going for a run is fun. Going to the gym is fun. Developing your career is fun.
Yeah.
There are other things that you can do in life.
What have we invited into the studio? I'm so sorry if you're listening now. This is supposed to be the home and
Sorry, James, I'll just agree with you.
And well, you probably should. Hang on a second.
And then we won't have a debate.
Well, I genuinely, it's no wonder that you're a lawyer, because basically you make money out of arguing the unarguable. That's what you do. That's what you do.
You talk about a nanny state.
You take on a case.
You talk about a nanny state.
You take on a case of somebody who should be banged up in jail. You try and defend them, and frankly, you cost us money.
We're going to a commercial break.
You cost us money. Peter's in Lichfield. Peter, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Peter. So we've got this ban on smoking in pub gardens. Nanny Britton seems to think that it's a good idea.
No, I don't think it is at all. So, I think it should have how you do food banks, but for smoking, where you could go and get your cigarettes for the week if you can't afford them.
Even I can't support that, Peter.
That's great. They should allow to be. People could donate cigarettes. That's very good, Peter.
Peter, I'm going to leave that one there. But I mean, probably my favourite caller of the day.
That's excellent. Yeah, I like that.
Let's
a cigarette bag.
Oh dear. Have we got a voice note? Have we got a voice note from Steve in Barnsley? Come on, Steve.
Oh, Steve in Barnsley here. Come on now, Jimbo. There's no health implications from eating Haribos to the people around you, but there is passive smoking from a smoker.
Yeah, but then is there a passive smoker in a pub garden? Are you really going to catch something from that?
He's got a good point.
No, I'm not sure I believe it. Anyway, the iNewspaper.